My name is Alfred Vidaurri, Jr., and I was the FY22 NCARB president. There was a lot of exciting things that I enjoyed during my presidency. Part of the thing that you have to recognize is we really were coming out of the pandemic during my year. The president before me, we basically were totally in a virtual environment. I was kind of found in my presidency that we were now transitioning, trying to find out what the new norm might be. One of the great things I think that did come out of it was the fact that we were able to now allow people that could not attend in person through the virtual Zoom world that they could still participate, which I think is a positive carryover today. I always made it very clear from the get-go. It's not as though this organization has been silent. We've been very proactive in that area, our diversity statement. We've had these conversations. But who would have ever known when I first ran for office 5 years ago, and I said, this is important, and if I have the opportunity to continue on in this journey, this is one of the areas we really need to focus on. That was well before George Floyd and the social consciousness and conversations we're having today. And so I felt it was always our duty, our call, it was necessary for us as an organization to move forward and advance ourselves in this area. The reason I say it was personal to me, and many people never realized this, is that I, in the 103-year history of the organization, is the first Hispanic Latino president of this organization. So with that comes a great honor, a great privilege, and a great responsibility to be able to be someone, an advocate, and speak on behalf of the importance of this. And so I've told people it's an honor to be the first, but I look forward when we have the conversations of no longer they're the first of a certain race or gender, but instead we acknowledge them for the wonderful ideas and skills and leadership. And that's what we celebrate instead of celebrating the first, second, or third of someone because of their ethnic background. We have this wonderful strategic plan at NCARB. And it was done years ago in a time and a place where we really were quite silent in the area of diversity, equity, and inclusion. And as you look around today, most forward-thinking organizations, nonprofits, have some element woven in about DEI. So we took on the task that we needed to revisit ours. We didn't want to open it up and redo it from scratch because we think it's a great plan. But we wanted to kind of create a vision statement that would kind of send the message of what the overarching thoughts and goals might be. And so we worked hard during that year and were able to roll out a brand new, first time ever vision statement for the organization. And I think it's a very powerful statement in that it simply says safe spaces and places for all communities. That's kind of what our big vision is. All communities, everywhere. The importance of, as a regulator, we want safe places and spaces for everyone. So the future of licensure was a really important thing that I talked about anytime I had an opportunity in front of any group, because it's one of those that I think resonates with a lot of people, especially emerging professionals that are in that process now. They're kind of really interested in, so what's the forward-looking approach going to be? And I looked at it this way. I looked at it that it was a process that is so different. When I did my process almost 40 years ago, it has evolved over time. But you stop and think of how our scope of practice has changed, technology has changed, social conditions have changed, the opportunities that are so different today than they were, decades ago. So I've given this example anywhere I've gone. I've said, if everyone in this room was given the task today to design a contemporary path to licensure, my guess is that it would look nothing like what we require a candidate to do today. So, given the fact that there are so many new variables, it is time, and this is the place, that we need to rethink this. We need to rethink the process, we need to rethink the path. And we need to think about that in the terms of the education model, experience. Not everybody goes through the same path anymore. What parts do community colleges play? The cost of education, the experience of it. The fact that some people start on the journey, life gets in the way, or it's time to take care of parents or children. There should be a way that people can get back on that path to be successful. I have been honored and amazed of the talent in the organization. The volunteers, the staff, and probably individuals don't necessarily sometimes even know what NCARB is. So I think there's this perception that NCARB is this organization based out of DC, and somehow they mysteriously write this exam, they create these standards. This is a volunteer-led organization. As president, during my year, 30 to 35 different committees that all had pieces that were working on the day-to-day work of the organization and its programs and services. Almost 400 plus volunteers from across the country that are playing a part of really guiding us forward in the regulatory world that we have. It is really practitioners. It is really your colleagues. It's really other firm owners and other people within the profession that say this is important. These are important things. These are services. These are things that are important to the organization and us as a profession. The thing that I think is so important is that we're forward-looking. There were many years where I think there was the criticism of that organization. This is an amazing organization that has totally been re-engineered, forward-thinking, very agile, best practice. It is what I would tell people, probably one of the greatest high-performance organizations I've ever been involved with. And the friendships here are, I think, lifelong friendships, but the work is significant. It's hard work, it's important work, but it's meaningful work at the end of the day.